don't. They're being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to go through VRES for destroyed.
Right, but do they belong to Amazon or just not our building?
So it's at this point it's irrelevant for this case only because of the issues with it, we can't send it back to the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Sent it.
Does the vendor know that we're destroying it?
I think that's the other departments are working on it. I'm working with an outside source with like fraud team more or less.
Yeah, so they're still in the building, and there's some that they're selling because they flipped the SKU. So there was a master SKU that was a BOO number.
Yeah.
And then now there's different BOO numbers and different XO. Yeah, they flipped them. So they're adding them, and there's some that are in recycle, there's some that are being destroyed, but there's some that have customer orders attached to it that are sellable because they're changing the BO multiple times, and then now they're adding an XO.
Are they all those that you just mentioned? Are they all in VRES or now they're all over the place?
There's some that are in stove to be sellable.
Right. Okay.
There are some that are in recycle.
Okay.
There's some that are in destroy. It's a total mess. But if you want my research, I'll be more than happy to provide it.
Yeah.
Because you also know that they were flagged as counterfeit when they first came in.
I did see that from what you sent me, and after I did my own research as well, which is why we were going to try and send them back.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of hiccup or just not possible. I'm not really sure, which further is suspicious, right?
Well, I will tell you, if you want the answer, it wasn't handled properly. So they had sent them back, and rather than
the second time, right?
Correct. Yeah. So they and then when they added different SKUs and started to change them, I don't know how they were made sellable. Well, they were made sellable after they got the LPN on it. Do you know how to look that up on FC Research? Because they were all supposed to be destroyed, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Paul, why I'm diving so deep into this. So now that I showed you the step-by-step, especially when we have the ATF involved, because it's possible that gun is in our warehouse. And somebody could easily mistake that item for something else. I mean, I will send you, even with the whole, remember we were talking about the trucking company? So we tried to sell that item as a camping chair. So how do you print a SKU for a camping chair and put it on a box that, even without opening it, clearly isn't the size of a camping chair?
Yeah, that sounds like more than snacks.
That's what I'm talking about. And I think that I've had a big thing about the problem solvers being properly trained, and problem solvers are a critical role for us and for Amazon. So if we're just taking people that don't have experience just to get them as a body, this is causing a lot more problems. And the same thing with VRED. So on one hand, I think to myself, is that the way they want it? So they can get cheap labor and just fill that position. But on the other hand, they don't realize that it's causing a lot of problems if the sellers and vendors find out, 100%. Especially since they increase their fees. Yeah. It's
a domino effect. And it's like security. Like, I don't know if you know, but we changed security companies in the last month or two.
Oh, yeah, I saw some.
So the old company, when we needed a guard or someone to show up, they would just send a bot. And I would keep telling them and explaining to them that is not acceptable. Because the body is not good enough. We need someone that knows what they're doing. If something happens, they need to know protocols, who to escalate to, how to handle things. We can't just have a random person here just to fill a slot. That's going to create more problems. The same thing.
Yeah, like what I wrote on the VOA. But anyway, so you dive really deep. Yeah. You have to go to even the purchase orders. It's like a maze. It's the labyrinth.
Yeah.
So there are some that are on the shelves as sellable. There's some that are recycled. There's some that are marked defective. So I wanted to let you know, but the reason that they are in various positions is because there's some under an XO, there's some under various BO numbers, but and then they keep adding them back too, which is strange. So anyway.
No, I'm actually gonna do some research right now. I won't finish it tonight. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm digging deep in there.
All right, let me know if you have any questions.
I will. Yeah, I'll let you know. Are you here, Mom? You
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I'm front half, but I'm here tomorrow, and then Thursday's my birthday, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If I have any questions, you need some help. I'll find.
Okay, all right, you're welcome.
So I got called into an investigation over the disclosure of the missing guns. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's when you told me out there, yeah.
But how did
Remember we
you
were
not
in-
know
No. What
about the
exactly
missing
about the
guns?
CI?
Or the ATF?
The ATF or- Like, I remember we had that conversation out here,
Mm-hmm.
and you were telling me about what you had found, and Paul was looped in, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. What did they, yeah,
The CI, sorry, I want to know what you're getting at, because I'm not involved in the CIs. Like, I don't touch those, they don't tell me those, because it's
mm-hmm.
non-biased stuff, so I'm just curious what
Because about the misships, right? Part of those misships.
No.
What?
That's what we talked about over there. Yeah.
I know it. I thought you knew.
No, that's why.
Nobody told you?
That's why I spoke with Paul and left it.
I mean, how did you feel about them not telling you that the egg was thrown more on our building?
I went through all that.
Oh, I'm really sorry,
After
Nick.
the fact. No, it's okay. Don't be sorry.
Wow.
Sorry, I just spoke that way.
Oh, no, as long as you're okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I received that information from local authorities. I also did talk to them, and it is in fact true. Not to mention, another associate told me that they signed for deliveries that were supposed to go to the armory, which is strange that we're not only getting local misships, but
Right.
How is that happening
Towns over.
at our building? I said, didn't you tell your manager about these shipments that were
Right.
being received?
Right.
And he's like, no, because we just signed for them. And we're
We
not.
have to know, because obviously the inbound team has visibility on what's actually
And the
like,
other
what's
thing-
real, like what's supposed to be here.
Right, and then I said, well, don't you love to confirm that it actually belongs here before you sign for
Right.
it? So after I gathered all this information and also discovered that we had received a box that belonged to trucking, and how I found that. So somebody received the box, they opened it, looked for something similar, put the SKU on it, and I showed this whole process. I demonstrated it picture by picture, showed him on our system, how it went through our warehouse. So the associates are putting the wrong SKU on the boxes, and then those boxes are in turn going through stow, pick, pack, and then they're getting to ship dock, and then what happens at the slam station? Oh, this doesn't match.
It's not the thing.
Right,
Yeah.
so it got kicked out. So when I got it and said, this doesn't even belong to us. Somebody's opening these packages that don't even belong to us,
No.
putting the wrong SKU. So Amazon technically is accepting other people's
Something
inventory
labeled, yeah.
and
Someone
then
else's
trying
labeled differently.
to sell it. It also costs us a lot of money. What a waste, right? I had explained that, and then and called me into a meeting to ask me about taking a photo of a box. I said, yeah, because I showed that it didn't belong to us and what's happening. So then I come back, Central Investigation calls me in to ask me yet again. And I'm like, I feel like I'm being retaliated against for simply bringing to the attention of the appropriate people this issue that we have, a very serious issue, right?
I gotcha. I know. I talked through with that situation with in terms of the CI. Sorry, I'm sorry. I gotta go to a meeting.
Yeah, no.
But
I gotcha.
in terms of the CI itself, I'm not involved.
Well, you
in
kind of
those.
have to be involved because this is something
Well, like, I'm
that
saying, like,
I did
the
to protect the building.
The process of it. I'm
Oh.
saying, like, not involved in like the conversations and things like that. Like,
Well, that's the other problem. And they took 5 weeks to contact me. That's how concerned they were. 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
I'll
anyway.
reconnect with Paul too on that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
chat with him. So
No,
I'll
just
talk
to
to
let you
him.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, do you want
I can do it, yeah. So there was a sort of situation that happened on Sunday. An AA had a package that they scanned was empty, which means it was a misship. The package had a man's name on it. The AA started to walk over. Were you taking like pictures of anything? Like on Sunday, they were working with probably customer returns or misships over in Receive.
Okay.
An associate saw you basically taking a picture of the label on the package over at dock door 139. It was like a conversation about misships, and after that, you took a picture. Apparently, you took a picture of someone else's package, and you stated that you knew them and you were trying to help locate it as it was sent here on accident. Anything ringing a bell?
But what is your question?
Oh, I just want to know like what happened on Sunday. That's all.
But what is your question?
Did anything? What can you tell me? What happened? What you did on Sunday?
Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
Had brought to my attention that there was some misships, which included a pin and a rifle. Okay, threatened to get a warrant on our building, which they probably should. So that was brought to my attention. In turn, had asked about how we handle misships, especially since if we have in the building or that doesn't belong to us, that's a problem. So I had discussed it with about a week ago. I received a package that was kicked out at PAC. It had a label addressed to up the road. So as I looked into the package, what happened was we had received that, and rather than sending it back as a misship, somebody in Receive put the wrong SKU on the box, accepted it as if it belonged to Amazon, which it didn't. It belonged to a local community business. Went into show, picked, packed, picked out, came to VRETS. I had said this is exactly what's happening with us receiving misships and correctly handling them. So I discovered that particular package, as well as several others, are not being handled properly. They're actually, in some occasions, we're putting the wrong SKU on and accepting that, which is absolutely 100% incorrect. So I talked to Craig, Wayne, Aya, and Brian about this and said, hey, we have a problem. So the other day, yes, I noticed that there was another package addressed to. I went over to Brian and said, Brian, hey, look, here's a package addressed to. They are already have claims in for the inventory that doesn't belong to us. Can we allow trucking to come and pick the package up? Brian had said, Heather, that's not our standard operating procedure. And I said, I know, but here's the thing. You guys are posting pictures that you're cleaning up. This is already clean, by the way. That's not the community support that we're talking about. This is the community support that we're talking about. Our local businesses, including the up the road, it's very frustrating that UPS and USPS has these misships, but if we're not handling them properly, then that's a problem. Brian said, that's not our standard operating procedure, but I'll ask and find out. And I had said, well, if he's willing to pick it up and they need it and they have proof of that it belongs to them, then why can't we just do that? That's what happened.
Okay. No, thank you for clarifying that.
Oh yeah,
really
I mean
appreciate
it is a huge concern, and I'm hoping that the seek to find conversation or seek to understand will actually enlighten you and even you on what's happening in our building, because we have a problem. And I had spoken to several managers about this, so I did that with the intent on demonstrating, hey, this is the problem that we're having. Does that make sense? And the same thing in VRETs, when I was walking around today, in VRETs, we have those mini fridges over there. They're over 50 pounds. The same thing happened with those tires that I lifted, over 50 pounds. How are all of these over 50-pound items and large, heavy items making their way into the building? So obviously, if I know that my associates are at risk, and I talked for an hour last Wednesday, so I have, worked with Elle to try to see what's going on. Because I didn't tell that associate, do you think that it was probably a good idea for me to not elaborate and cause concern?
Well, I appreciate you escalating it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, the managers are well aware, and I try to explain this to, if we live next door to each other, right? And I get a box addressed to you. A good neighbor, I would be like, hey, I got your package, which has happened. I have an upstairs neighbor. So I would, say, hey, I'm going to be a good neighbor and bring it next door. If I didn't like you as a neighbor, I would just put return to sender. But if I opened that and kept it as mine, isn't that a better crime to open somebody else's mail and keep their stuff? Right? And that's kind of what's happening. I don't know. What is your opinion? Do you think associates have the right to know?
Well, I would like to say that I appreciate you escalating it to Brian and escalating it to
Brian,
Yep.
Craig, Aya, Wayne. Yeah. Like people that are directly involved in the process.
No, and I very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, we just wanted to kind of just get to an understanding of what happened.
Yeah. And that's why last week when we had those individual, I don't think you were here, those gun holsters. Did you see?
Oh yeah, the LPM things, yeah.
Yes. That's why I escalated that too. I texted and said, hey, can you come in the back? I want to ask your opinion about this, because one, it doesn't make sense that we would get 20 of those little individual packages of gun holsters. Two, knowing what was happening, I said, hey, do you want to investigate this? Because it doesn't make sense that we would get 20 over here and just process them through grading. Something, there's a red flag, right?
Right.
So I don't know what your opinion is on that.
So I personally don't really have an opinion on that, because this is the first time I heard about it. I can ask my boss more about it. Just elaborating with the DPs to see if they have anything on it.
No, I mean, you guys are in a position, especially if you're VRETs or pick or pack and somebody ends up finding this item, you guys should be alert, right? Because for you, that would be alarming. How did it get in here? And then, of course, our first reasonable conclusion wouldn't think, is it a misship? How did it get in here, right? So in my opinion, at the very least, the manager should know, which is why I spoke to the receive managers to kind of discover how is it happening, and they didn't even know about it. I mean, we have that looks similar. So it's possible that it made its way through, but eventually it's going to get kicked out, and you should know. So anyway, so that's what happened.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Heather.
Well, no, I want to know feedback.
Well, we just wanted to hear.
I mean, do you think I
You're
handled the whole situation appropriately, professionally?
In my opinion, I think you did the right thing by escalating it. So I would say that, I appreciate you escalating it.
Yeah,
And,
definitely. My first thought is always to keep everybody safe. no matter what it is, not just work-related injuries, but overall. And that's what I was doing. So, okay.
Well, I appreciate you coming down and having this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking, and thank you for, bringing me in to understand, and hopefully you guys know. Hey.
Good morning, Heather. How are you?
Yes, you're the only one here today.
Yeah, it's Sunday,
Yeah, because there were some safety concerns this morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get safety.
What was going on this morning?
So, this morning at stand up, Natalie was saying, don't put boxes on the floor, which I believe, but I mean, we all know we can't put boxes on the floor, but I believe that there's a challenge with that because we can't have 2 U-boats at the stations. So 1 U-boat tends to fill up rather quickly.
Why can't we have 2?
Because it's unsafe.
I think there's plenty of room over there. As long as
Okay.
we have 36 inches of egress and enough room to move around. Most of those areas do. And I guess my idea is it's a good call out that maybe we do need to have 2 over there or a pallet area where we can palletize in between.
Wait, what? Go back.
So there should be a pallet area
Wait,
already.
I'm talking about, no, I'm talking about the slam station.
I understand that.
No, because Zach said it's unsafe to have 2 U-boats. That's why we couldn't have the U-boats there when they were building the auto slam. Remember line 6 near auto slam? We had to close down that one pack station because we can't have 2 U-boats. Because 2 U-boats creates an unsafe situation for the slammer. There's just, and the taper. You have a slammer, you have a taper, you have 2 U-boats, then you're congesting the area for them to be able to maneuver, especially with the taper.
I'd have to look at the specific areas, but I think with some reorganization, I don't think it's impossible, but we could probably remove some of the other storage we have going on in the middle. But if we're running into an issue where we need more space for that kind of stuff, we should probably think about that over storage.
You mean move the storage where they have the water tank? So you're gonna move the...
I'm not doing anything, I'm just saying we
Oh.
should probably reassess it.
So don't you think that it would have been a good idea to reassess it before Natalie said that at stand-up without creating a solution for the slammers, the packers?
Well, maybe when our carts are getting full too, if we're at 50%, maybe raise an and on, that way we can alert leadership.
But we only
that
have
need
2
somebody to-
PAs.
Right,
So-
as a tier 1, I would do the same thing, and I would argue it with, I can't safely move this stuff, and what are they gonna say to me?
Why didn't you tell us sooner? Why didn't you go
Right,
get a
so-
U-boat?
so
Why
as I
didn't you
said,
get a cage?
let's-
Why didn't you,
And
right?
trust me, I'm sticking up for you, but
Yeah,
you
no,
don't wanna
I
hear
got
the
you.
answer that I have. My answer is stop working.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put my faith and trust. You heard it here first.
Okay,
Okay.
great, as long as we're doing it responsibly,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. I'm gonna let Natalie know that as well, and that should have come from her leadership, so thank you for clarifying that, because I wish that you were at, you know what, we should have a safety person at stand-up every day.
Yeah, sure,
Wouldn't that be great?
I would love it.
I think we should. I think it's great. That just popped into my head.
I
Wow,
love it, yeah.
great idea day, I
Throw it on
guess.
the VOA.
I
let's see if it
am.
happens, yeah.
I am, let's do that, because if you were there this morning,
Well, right, and I would have said it, and Natalie would have said,
Yeah.
yes, of course, Jeremy, because that's exactly the course we should be
but
taking.
now we have
It's
a
the
whole
same
bunch
over
of
on
tier
Ship
ones
Dock and
on the
the
floor who
400s.
have no direction
It's the
on
same
a solution, so.
The
let's go
direction
see-
was we don't put boxes on the floor, so what do you?
But they weren't
But
directed
what
to
do you
stop
do?
working. They weren't directed, and.
I don't think you should stop working, but you should probably stop putting boxes down the line. You should probably stop putting them on the floor. Now, there's other tasks you can do, right?
Mhm. Area readiness. Yeah, because she said there is an area readiness team. So how are we doing area readiness when she said this morning there was a
your
team
water
doing
spider,
it?
right, can only
Uh-huh.
accomplish so much. So, like, they can help us when they can, and
Uh-huh.
when we need
So we
them.
need more water spiders?
But I think essentially we're all responsible for our own area organization.
Right. Oh, well, I was just saying, we're doing area readiness, but there's an area readiness team that I haven't seen yet, by the
Well,
way.
they come in, I think,
With
a
my
half
own
hour
two
before
eyes.
the rest of you guys, and
Yeah.
they kind of help get the areas all set before we start.
You mean the team that I put together that never happened? So there is no
There's a
area?
couple individuals on every shift from what I remember when I was in
No.
operation.
Okay, it's not
Before we
happening
come
now.
in, So they come in, you guys start at what, 7:30? They start at 7?
Yeah, I've seen them a few times. Like Dan, the guy that's tugging today, he's on area readiness now.
Hi.
but-
All right, I'm going to connect with Natalie. Thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, but I mean, essentially, that's how it should go everywhere. Just because it's not working doesn't mean we should circumvent it.
Gotcha, I understand. All right, thank you for that. All right. Wait, no. Okay, but he can't go back to his manager if he has an injury.
All right. So yeah, when we do that, we want to make sure for the report we go through it. Do you want to?
Can I get someone down for ice cream in their back?
Yeah, you can connect with your manager. Okay.
Hey, at this time, we
So I'll go from them. Then come back up here. Well, let me see if I
an
can.
appointment requested, and you'll get.
What's happening?
Oh, well, there's no manager in ShipDoc.
No manager, but yeah, there's no.
There's no manager in ShipDoc. Okay, so yeah. No, there's no managers. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want to send somebody back if they're injured. So how long have you been in in that BOD?
A whole week.
Wait, you haven't been rotated?
Yeah, the whole week.
What?
Safety and outbound. So I've been all week.
No, you're supposed to be rotated.
Yeah, I've been in for all week. They're supposed to switch you up.
Yeah. Why are you in there all week when they're supposed to rotate you?
I'm telling you.
I'm usually over at BOD Pack all the time. I don't know about this rotation stuff.
What? No.
Yeah, I just want to find a seat for
All right, you want some ice? All week. You want some ice? Yeah, please. All right.
Okay. Are you aware that he hasn't been rotated out of BOD?
When have you worked this week?
Every day. Since Monday.
So, I was only here yesterday, so I know my shift, we try to rotate you a lot.
Yeah, I know. You guys are good.
But do you want to just somewhere we could sit?
They went to go do the intake. I cannot believe this place.